Welcome to Homeschooling and Life Unfiltered with Court and Jess, where real talk meets real life. Court and Jess are two friends, fellow moms, and business partners who live in different time zones and juggle homeschooling alongside motherhood and entrepreneurship. Jess is a mom of 8 and Court is a mom of 7, and together they're raising 15 kids and navigating the wild, wonderful world of homeschooling, each in completely different ways. Every week, we invite you to pull up a chair for honest conversations, practical tips, and uplifting encouragement. You'll hear from moms across the country who are homeschooling in a way that works best for their families. Whether you're a veteran homeschool mom just getting started or somewhere in between, this is your space to feel seen, supported, and inspired. Because no matter how different our paths may look, we are all in this together. Welcome to Homeschooling and Life Unfiltered with Court and Jess. Today we are talking books. Guess who chose the topic? Courtney. We are going to talk about what we're reading with our kiddos, what our kiddos are reading, just what do we have going on so far this year that we have loved or maybe hated, because that happens sometimes, right? All right, do you want to start?
Yeah, I certainly can. So I think we should go kind of back and forth. Let's talk about like what we're reading first and then go back and forth. But so what am I reading first? And I know I've already shared this book, but I want to share it again. So the big thing, the bane of my existence right now, you guys, is feeding my 1-year-old. And I am so in my head about it. And so it's like, there's just so much, like we're the age of information, and there's so much information out there, and it's hard to know what's right. Do you feed them local, or, what's more important, local or organic? And do you wait for the molars to feed starches? I mean, there's just like, it's just so much out there telling you do this or don't do that. And so it's a little bit consuming for me right now. What do I feed my 1-year-old or 14-month-old? And so I really have liked these books. I shared them before, these cookbooks. And so this one is the Nourishing Traditions book of baby and childcare. And it's got a bunch of things in here about what to feed the babies to. And there's an accompanying cookbook as well. And so I'm spending a lot of time in these days.
Okay, so will you just tell me an example? Like, what did she have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner yesterday? I'm just super curious. Like, what does it tell you to feed them? Because this is so different from how I did it.
Oh, and so different than how I did it with all of my other children too. And it's so funny because you asked me what did she eat yesterday. Well, I have it written down, so I can tell you.
Of course you do.
So yesterday, let's see, it was Thursday. So for breakfast, she had hamburger from like a local cow that we sourced from a farmer. Hamburger and eggs, and I can't remember if we had spinach or not in the eggs. And then for lunch she had a T-bone steak and carrots. So she
are you grinding it up or
nope. So we trim off most of the meat and any of the meat that's really easily to come off, and then she just gnaws on it, like mostly the bone. There's a little bit of fat, there's meat, and then we tore up a lot of them, tore and cut up several pieces of steak for her as well. So so that's what she had for lunch. And then for dinner she had chicken that we have a really hard time finding local chicken here. Like you usually have to wait until, so for example, I couldn't get any chicken breasts in southern Minnesota from a farmer with like organic chicken. And so I had to go to the cities, and all we could get were like we couldn't get like breasts. We had to get like thighs and legs and different cuts like that. So she had that chicken and carrots for supper. And then we don't really do a lot of snacks for her right now. She's really 3 meals because she still has some formulas that she drinks that's like fully nutritious or whatever. And we get that from Germany. We import it. And so she's just eating the 3 meals right now. And so, it's a lot of, I'm too in my head about it, and I know it. And so we'll see. And so we're planning, we've got 2 big airplane trips coming up for her. And so I'm having to really think about what I'm going to do. I'd like to get a dehydrator, or not a dehydrator, a freeze dryer. Do you guys have a freeze dryer?
I don't. I have a dehydrator, but not a freeze
dryer. I'd love to do a freeze dryer, but they are so expensive.
They are.
So, but if we eventually get one, which not anytime soon, that would be amazing because it's easier to like make your own snacks to go because they're shelf stable. So anyways, that is what we got going on for my reading. Also, I guess I am reading, I'm just starting this book called The Next Renaissance. And this is, it's for work. It's all about, one of the, so it's called the Next Renaissance, AI and the Expansion of Human Potential. So really like the next, one of the biggest things that will ever happen in our lifetime is this development of AI, and I'm just trying to wrap my head around it and what it really means for the future and how we can prepare our family for the negative and the, you know, any positive that comes out of it. But it's kind of a crazy thing. So I'm just kind of reading about that, mostly, like I said, for work. And then the other book that I'm currently listening to right now is called A Happy Pocket Full of Money. And it is, I'm only a little ways into it, so please don't hold it against me if it gets really bad by the end. But so far, it's really good. And it's really about, it's not really about money at all so far, what I can tell. It's really about, what true wealth is and happiness and how to embrace that. And so I have really loved it so far. It's really, really good. And then one book that I just finished that I was going to share that was really, really good. And that is the Hawthorne series by Christy Hunter.
Oh, so good.
Yes.
The Hawthorne Brothers series?
Oh, no, it's not a brothers.
Oh.
It is.
The Hawthorne Brothers is like a, kind of like a, it's like I don't know how to explain it. It's a really good series. It's very entertaining. All of my kids have read it, but it's probably not your genre.
Yeah, no, I have not heard of that one, but this one, so the one that I just finished is called A Noble Masquerade, and it's a fiction in honor, like I always give Courtney credit for my fiction reading, and it is really, really good. So I already finished it, so I can fully give it a full vetted 2 thumbs up.
What's the author again?
The author is Christy Ann Hunter.
And I'm gonna look it up.
Masquerade. It was phenomenal. And so I'm starting some of the other I've tried to start 2 of the books in the series. But do you know what ruins audiobooks when there's a bad reader?
Ugh, yes.
And so one of them, the reader is so slow, so we've tried to speed it up. And then the other one, the accent's just all wrong. So we're trying to do, I might just have to read those ones.
Okay. What's the name of the book again?
The Noble Masquerade.
Noble Masquerade. Oh, there's a dog banging on my door. He wants in. I cannot find it. It's not coming up.
Here's what it looks like.
Oh, a Noble Masquerade. Cute. Okay. I have not read that one.
It's on
found a book I haven't read.
Yay. Okay, you're gonna have to read it and tell me how much you love it, because it's
all right.
I've never liked mystery books, and it's got a little mystery to it. But go ahead.
Oh, I like a real life. I'm gonna let my dog in so he doesn't quit coming on here.
Me too. Yeah, for sure.
This dog has the most massive FOMO ever. If I close the door and he's not in, I didn't realize he wasn't in here. He like blends in with the pillows in the background, which is where he normally lays, and so I just assume he's here.
Well, the other day when we were on a meeting together and I had my little baby in my lap, Kinsley, he right away started barking. I'm like, what is she doing? And she could see the dog, and she did. Your dog blended right into the pillows, and she spotted her right.
He's the same color as that cream one, so he just like, I never know he's even there. So funny. Okay, so you're not reading any fiction right now? You just finished that one, so you haven't started a new one?
I'm not reading any fiction right now. Nope.
Well, I know what you should read.
Okay, tell me.
And it's on Hoopla. Okay.
Right now.
So it is the best series ever. If you're on social media, like it's always everywhere, but it's the Unselected Diaries of Emma M. Lyon. And they're almost like the first one's only 3 hours. Like it's almost like a novella, but there's 8 in the series so far. And it's about this young girl kind of coming of age in like the Victorian, like proper romancy time that you like. But it has like Gilmore Girls witty banter. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with it. That's like my favorite show.
Love Gilmore Girls. Yes.
I love it. And it has, though the first one, I will fully own the first one's just a smidge slow, but it's really building, like introducing all the characters and kind of building what's going on. But then you'll just, I mean, I've read them every year for the last 3 years. So like I just listen. I've never listened to them. They just came out on audio, and I actually listened to one in the car on the way home from California this weekend. Because I was like, I should give it a try. Because I like actually reading them. But I mean, I like, you just laugh like out loud, you giggle because it's just so funny, the stuff. And then I'll like read it to my husband. He's like, why are you laughing? And I was like, oh, listen to this. And it's just entertaining. It's so funny. Anyways, so that's what I think you should read.
I just put it in my Hoopla library.
I think my only pet peeve is I don't tend to listen books on 1. I listen to like on 1.5. Shocking. I do everything faster. I didn't like the way that one sped up. It like you could tell when it was moving, which I don't normally think that's, but I think it's how she recorded it. I have no idea, but it drove me a little bonkers. So
I don't like how most books sound on 1.5. I've tried several times because I know you do that too. And I just don't have time. So I'm like, come on, let's go faster. But they always sound weird to me.
Yeah. This is the first one I've ever noticed you could hear every single time it like clipped it. I don't know. It was really annoying to me. So, but anyways, I think you'll really enjoy them. They're just very entertaining. You have to plug through the first one and move on to the second. Just know that the first one's just a smidge slower than the rest of them.
Okay.
But she's really setting everything up. It's so good. Anyways, okay. So that's when I listen to I always have like a dozen books going at the same time because I get bored or I want to, it's on my mood. Like, what do I want to do today? Like, what am I listening to? So one of the things, I only listen to one typically, like that's like my book that I'll listen to like on walks or when I'm in the car or something. I'm listening to, it's called Homegrown: Guidance and Inspiration for Navigating Your Homeschooling Journey. It's actually one I'm vetting for our parent book club for next year. And it's super interesting. It's a bunch of collections of essays from different people, all about their different like homeschool journeys. So it's very diverse. So we're talking like you've got the, Korean adopted kid that came over that grew up in Kansas, and she's a homeschooler, and she, you know what I mean? Like you have the Southern, anyways, it's very interesting. It's very eclectic. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a little bit of everything. Some of these I'm like, oh, like that's not my jam, but like, okay, for somebody would like it. But it's just been kind of a nice, inspiring, it's been my walking book that I've been listening to while I walk.
Nice.
So that one's super fun. I'm reading, I just finished for my fiction book that I just finished. I just finished The Secret of Secrets. You don't read a lot of fiction, so maybe you haven't, but I almost count these as like nonfiction-esque because there's so much real things in it. But the Dan Brown series, the Da Vinci Code series. Any of them?
Did we read? I can't remember if we've read one, or there's a movie series too, right?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think we've just seen one of the movies.
Yeah. So that's his newest one is called The Secret of Secrets. And it was like heavy science. It took me a while to read because it's not one that you can just plow through. You have to like read and then digest and then read and then digest. It was actually my treadmill book for a while. I always have a book on the treadmill that like I'm only allowed to read when I'm walking on the treadmill to like make me do it.
I would fall off the treadmill, Courtney. You've told me so. I would kill myself.
This was a heavy hardback book. So I regretted my life choices with this one. I finally gave up and just read it in bed because it was so heavy to try to like walk on a treadmill. And anyways,
sorry, I've got a picture of this. So you're holding the books when like you're holding the book and reading, or you've got it propped?
Normally, yes, I hold it. But for this book, because it was so heavy, I have this board that I lay over, like a treadmill has like arms.
Yeah.
So I have a board that I lay over it that I can put my laptop on because I'll work on the treadmill sometimes. And so for this book, it was so heavy, I had to like prop it up on the board.
You need some free time where you don't do anything but just one thing. Courtney's only doing one thing. I can just picture you with this board and working.
I should have my kids take a picture of it for you.
Wait, I think that Courtney's kids should take a video and we can post it because this is too good. Okay, but when you're reading it, do you hold on then?
No, I actually swap hands. So depending upon what side I'm reading, I'll swap hands because my hands get tired to like hold them up. So I'll like swap hands back and forth.
Jessica's coordinated because I could not do that. So,
you should try. Maybe I'll make you try when you're here.
I am too old to break a bone. Okay, I've made it 41 years, knock on wood, without breaking a bone. I'd like to enter the next 40 years without a bone too.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
A broken bone.
The best was the other day my dog tried to get on the treadmill with me. That one was ridiculous. Did I tell you that? Oh, it was so funny. That was the first time in,
which this little dog
had it. No, it was my big huge dog, the one that goes on walks with me. He was mad that I wasn't taking him on a walk. I think he thought, well, I'm going to walk with you if you're going to walk on the treadmill.
Yep.
Silly.
That's hilarious.
Okay, so I just finished reading that. I always have a series going in the background. So whenever I have like a lull in a reading or when I'm like too lazy to go find a book, I always have a series that has a bunch of books going like every year. Like one year I read the Anna Green Gables series, which is so fun. I had never read all of them. Ever. Yeah. All 9 or 10 of them. Awesome. That was a series I read in the background. This year I'm reading, it's The Lord Edgington Investigates. I like mysteries. And they're very like, it takes place in the 1920s, like in England. Like it's a long time ago. And he's like a retired detective, like head of all the detectives. And he's like training his 16-year-old grandson how to be a detective. And so everywhere they go, someone dies and they have to solve a mystery. It's kind of neat because I don't know a ton about, I've never been to England and they're exploring the continent. And so it's kind of fun to hear all the different places and things. And I've gone and like looked stuff up. I'm like, well, what does that look like? Or where's that? And so that's just, there's a million books in the series. I mean, like 19 or something. And so it's just in the background of whatever I like have a lull. I'll go read those. And like last year I read like Lewis Penny, his series of it was a Canadian detective. And it was a whole series about him, and there was like 19 books in that series. So that was my background series. So so that's my, hold on, sorry. I got to look at my list, you guys. I read so many books. I have to I keep track of it on Goodreads. So, hey, if you want to follow on Goodreads, you can find me on Goodreads and see all the crazy books I'm reading. The nonfiction book I'm actually reading right now is, well, I actually have a couple. I just started the new Art and Science of Teaching, or the one that we were talking about the other day.
Art and Science of Teaching. Yep.
Yeah. So I just started that last night, which is super interesting, by the way.
Good.
I'm reading The Gap and the Gain. It's the High Achiever's Guide to Happiness, Confidence, and Success. My husband's work, they required all their leadership team to read it. It's so good. It's all about kind of how like Thomas Jefferson, he put like the pursuit of happiness like as part of the thing, and how it kind of set everybody up for failure, that everyone's pursuing happiness, which means you can't achieve it. Like in that, if you think of it in that way, and how there's like, you're in the gap or you're in the gain, and the gain is where you're living and you're in happiness, right? And the gap is where you're just trying to get there. You're never going to get there. Super interesting.
Title and the author again.
It's The Gap and the Gain by Dan Sullivan.
Okay, I'm gonna have to add that one.
Super interesting. I really, really, really like it. And I'm just barely getting into it, but that one is super good. Okay, so there's my fiction. There's a nonfiction. I mean, I actually have 3 other nonfictions in the background, but I don't need to tell you all of them because they're just ridiculous. I have too many books going on. What I'm reading with my kiddos. Do we want to talk about those?
I have a question really quick. So, fun story, and I know that you probably can relate, but my oldest daughter is 22. And so she reached out to me the other day and asked me if I had read a parenting book. And at first I was like, what are you saying? And she's like, no, I think you'd really like it. Like, it's definitely up your alley. And it's called Hunt, Gather, Parent.
Oh, no.
I don't know anything about it. So you guys, if it's a terrible book or it's like super biased or something weird, she hasn't read it yet either. And I haven't read it. She just said she's been hearing about it on social media. So,
okay.
Can't recommend it. I was just wondering if you've read it. So
I haven't even heard of it. I guess the book I started last night too, that my fiction book, because I just needed a new one. It's called Hometown Vendetta. It's by Tracy Hunter Abramson. It's it's kind of like a mystery. It's a modern day though. Like it has to do with like it's FBI agents and like CIA agents, and there's like a bombing there was a bomb that went off and they're trying to find out who did it. So it's a series. It's the first one of a Luke Steele series. It's pretty good. I don't know who told me about it. Somebody did, but that's my fiction that I'm reading that I just started yesterday.
That's
and I might have stayed up a little late last night reading it because it hooked me in like really fast. I was like, ooh, this is good. So that's my only problem. I just like will keep reading, you know, and regret it the next day.
Oh, 100%. No, that I did that a couple nights ago, and so last night I didn't even let myself read at all or listen to a book. I'm like, nope, I am going to bed. So, but okay, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I read every night before bed because it makes me tired. Like otherwise I won't go to sleep.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, what were you gonna say you're reading with your kids?
Okay, so with my kiddos, I have been we've been reading the Little House on the Prairie series for honestly like 2 years. I think we're into it because I had never read it with my second set of younger. So I have like my older set of kids and my younger set of kids. And so I had never read it with my younger set of kids. And so we are all the way on the Happy Golden Years. We're on book 8. So we've been doing it for a while.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh.
Have you guys ever done the pageants? Like come to one of the pageants?
No. I've never been back there. I just found out about those last year when Sarah Robbins told me about them because she went.
It's super good. We've only been once and it is amazing. Like they do such a great job. We went to the one, I mean, they have them all over, all the places, but we went to the one in western Minnesota, southwestern Minnesota. I can't remember what town it is, but yeah.
I didn't realize there was more than one. I thought there was just the one in the place where I have no idea.
There's a couple because she has all different sites. So I guess I don't know if they all do pageants. I think at least 2 do. But there's like, you know, all the different places that she lived. Where is the main place she lived? I'm blanking on the name.
Like the banks of Plum Creek or the
went for the
pageant.
And the banks are like the little sod house, like the hut house, or like the you know what it's called, like the little
the house on the side of the hill. Yeah.
Side of the hill. That's like on private property now, but you can't see it, like there's nothing really there, but there's like a plaque or whatever, and they allow you to go there and see. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's so neat. So anyways, we're reading that, but what we're doing for this one, I always have one book that we're listening to as a family, and so we listen to it and then we play games. So like that's when we play, you know, like it has to be a silent game. So we'll play Sky Joe, we'll play Quicks or whatever, like some kind of silent, and normally it's like a mathy game. So I turn it on, we listen during family school, and then we play a game quietly.
Nice.
So that's part of my family school rotation. So I mean, we listen to it 15, 20 minutes at a time, so it takes forever. That's why we're so low. I think we have an hour and a half left. We're almost done with this one. With my littles, so my 2 youngest kids, they're the ones that I drive around the most because they have, you know, activities and things like that. And so we have been listening to the Story Thieves series. Have you heard of that one? We're on the 3rd one. It's
I read it. I think my daughter Mia read it. Yeah.
It's super fun. Yeah, it's kind of a sci-fi fantasy type book, which isn't really normally my jam, but my kids really like it. It's been fun. It's about a little girl whose dad was from the fiction world and her mom is from, you know, normal world, and so she can go into books. Like she can go into the fiction world, and it's all these little like
is it a series?
It's a series. Yeah, we're on book 3.
What did you know the first book is called?
I think it's called Story Thieves is the first one.
Okay.
It's called, Story Thieves is the first one. The Stolen Chapters is the second, and Secret Origins is the third. Oh, and apparently there's a fourth. I didn't know that.
Who reads?
There's a lot of them.
Author?
James Riley.
Okay. Oh, I don't think that's the one I was thinking of. But yes, we do have that one. One of those, and my daughter Mia has read it. So
it's super fun. So that I think is all we're actually reading together as a family right now.
Nice. So we are reading 2 books as a family right now. And mostly it's not really my older son. He's so busy right now and we see him nearly enough. But with my little girls, we're reading 2 books. The first one is The Story of the World, classic.
Well, that's what we're doing for history right now.
Okay. Yeah. So we're reading that. And it's so interesting because we're such a history buff family. Like we are all things history. Like that is subject my kids excel in the most, because that's what mom and dad love. And we spend a lot of time in history. And so they're finding all these contradictions. And so that's really fun. So then they find contradictions, and then we go look them up, and then we find out, are they actually contradictions, or is it two slightly different takes on the same thing? And so it's been really, really good. We just started it recently, so we're still like in ancient history.
So we're on the first book.
We're on the first book, yeah. And I listened to them with my older kids. My same thing, with the older set and then the younger set. So we did them, but I've never done it with my little girls yet. And so we're doing that one. And then the other book that we're reading together is The Midwife's Apprentice.
Oh, okay. I haven't read that. Is it good?
Really, really good. Yep. My kids one of my girls has already read it, and we're just reading it again. She's reading it again. But she just recently read it. And this is she's not really a reluctant reader anymore, but she can be a picky reader. And she's 13. And this is definitely like a very easy read for a 13-year-old. I mean, she read it like in, a couple hours, but she really enjoyed it, and she's a hard one to please. And so this is really fun. She thinks she might want to be a midwife. So that's really neat.
Oh, that's cool.
We have a mother-daughter homemakers group that we meet together 2 times a month. And so we actually just had, we were supposed to have a midwife come to the house and do a midwife like Q&A with her, but she had 3 mamas in labor. So we did it by Zoom, but it was still really, really good. And it was kind of fun, since we're kind of reading this and then had that opportunity to talk with her. But those are the 2 books that we're reading together.
That's so fun. I know. I was just kind of rethinking. So we're doing Story of the World this year for history too.
Yep.
Last year, or the last couple of years, we've done Beautiful Feet, which is my favorite. So it's like the literature based, like, so we're reading like really good. And so I was kind of thinking, my kids have been kind of dragging. They're not super excited about the Story of the World this time. We've done it numerous times, but like this time around. And so I was kind of like, well, in the Story of the World, do you have like the activity book and all the things?
Yeah.
So in the activity book, there's novels that go with each kind of section. And so I was kind of thinking maybe I should pull out like a novel from there, because we're on the green book. We did medieval history last year. So whatever, I don't know, New World History maze, or what section, I can't remember what they're called.
Do you ever use the Good and the Beautiful's book list? Have you seen
history?
That?
I mean, I've seen it, yeah, but history.
That huge manual of like reading levels and like genres, and they give it a rating, and it's huge. It's free too if anybody wants it. It's a Good and the Beautiful reading list. So sometimes I go on there, but we haven't done a lot with the activity books yet, with really much at all with with a couple little girls. We did with the older kids, but just this time.
Yeah, we did it. We've did it like as a rotation, like as part of our history with a group of people. And so like last year we did it with co-op. The last 2 years we've done history with co-op, but this year we joined a different co-op, so we're not doing history with it. And so we've just been doing it on our own, and I haven't been doing the activities like I should, which is probably why they're not as into it as they would be. So it's totally my fault.
No, it's good.
All right. I love it. Okay, what are your kiddos reading?
Yeah. So
wait, hold on, one more question. With it, are your kiddos like big readers, or are they not big readers? Because all of mine are different.
Yeah. Every single one of my kids are massive readers. Almost to a problem. And I won't get super into it. We should do a podcast on this later about how our kids learn to read, but I'm sure I'm going to get a ton of hate about this, especially since we work for an educational company too. But I'm a big personal believer that kids are not ready. Most kids, right? Most kids, there are exceptions. I have an exception, but that most kids aren't ready to read until they're 8. And so we push it really hard when they're like 4 and 5, and then they gotta be reading before they're in kindergarten. And I just think it's completely off the wall. I am much more interested if my child is reading at 30 versus if they're reading at 5. And so for me, that's a slow evolution of learning to read so that they develop a passion. They don't feel, pushed or, pressured and things like that. So anyways, I had my 17-year-old son and my 13-year-old daughter both were not ready to learn until reading until after 8. So they were 9 and 11 when they learned to read. And now they both test out into way like college level reading, and they're 13 and 17. My 17-year-old, he was my latest reader. He was 11. Actually, he was in a like a reading camp that was through the college, and we helped to kind of help grow that program too. And they wanted to label him really quickly as dyslexic, and I'm just like, no, he's just not ready. But then as the time went, right, like 9 passed, then 10 passed, and I was really concerned. And but I still didn't push. And then it was like just an awakening, like, okay, one day he was ready and he read. But one of the things that we do, and I'm going to show you a book. I don't like comic books. And so when I was a young mom, and I think this is probably true when I was a young mom, most of the graphic novels were comic book. They were just comics. But now you have all these classics that are in graphic novel format. So if I have a reluctant reader, and even sometimes when I don't, I start them on graphic novels. And then when they're ready, they kind of just naturally say, okay, I want a short chapter book. And then they transfer over. And so that's what we did. And, but yes, all my kids are big readers to a fault, right? Like where I'm saying, okay, it's time for bed. You cannot read anymore. Or, you got to go do something, do a chore, finish your schoolwork. You've got to stop reading. And so huge readers. What about you?
Similar. And I think, so my youngest daughter had like a little bit of a learning disability. And so she was my latest reader. And she just now, I think the graphic novel thing, you must have, because I was super anti-graphic novel, like absolutely not. And I think you had to have been the person that told me, because Macy, that's what I've done with her. And she is like, she's like, I totally can read. Like, I can read just great. Like, and it was graphic novels that she was reading, but it gave her the confidence, and it wasn't overwhelming. But it's so funny. My son, who was a little bit of a reluctant reader, he's still a reluctant reader. Like, he reads, but it's not his favorite, but he loves to listen. Like, he will listen to 12 books a week. Like, that's just his, like, he doesn't listen to music. He listens to books. He loves it. He'll be out mowing the lawn with his headphones on, and he's totally listening to a book. And you know what I mean? Like, that's not normal for a 13-year-old boy, but that's what his jam is. But he hates graphic novels. They're too busy, too distracting. There's too much going on. Hates them.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
So he's reading. And so what I have found with him, the best way for him to like be more successful reading is he'll have listened to the book. So he really liked the Percy Jackson series. And so now he's reading the Percy Jackson series.
Cool. Okay. And he doesn't get bored with the fact that he already knows.
Nope. And he's more familiar with the names. So it's easier. It's less discouraging. Like if he's having a hard time, he's like, oh yeah, I can remember.
Because he can follow along. I actually, and this is where we differ so much, I cannot imagine reading the same book twice, with few exceptions, especially a fiction. I guess I reread, that's not true. I reread nonfiction, but I can't imagine rereading a fiction book, but we'll see. I'm kind of new on my adult fiction journey.
There's some classics out there. Like Little Men is like my all-time favorite book of all time. And that one I read every few years. I mean, I should probably read that again. I haven't read it in a few years, but there are some classics, but like that, the Emma M. Lyon series is probably the most I've ever reread of fiction, other than like The Lost in the Prairie, Harry Potter. Like those are classics to me that I would reread often.
I could see a series rereading more, just because there's so many details you would forget. But we've reread Little House on Prairie before, so. But okay, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, there's very few just like fiction books that I'm going to pick up and read again.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so for what are our kids reading? My oldest daughter, who's 22, is on this kick of, Pride and Prejudice is her favorite book ever. And so she is reading, I can't remember what she calls it, but like basically spin-offs. So she's been thrifting, doing thrift store. What's that? Yeah. And so she's got like a collection of these Pride and Prejudice spin-off books that she's reading right now. She reads a ton. She's like you. I mean, she reads a ton. But that's what I know she's reading. And then my 19-year-old son does not like to read, but he also has a lot of special needs. So he reads probably like at an 8-year-old level and 9-year-old level. And so he's maturing. So those books feel too immature for him. So he doesn't read a lot at all. But my other no, not really. No, he doesn't have it's like a tactile thing for him.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But then my other 19-year-old son, he is on a mission for a church. So he is only reading scriptures, and then a couple other church approved books. But he is loving every second of it. And he's always, on my case about where I'm at in the scriptures and my reading, as any good missionary would be. And then, so down from there, my daughter Mia and my daughter Corey both are reading. This year, they're reading the Hiding Place, Phantom Tollbooth, Where the Red Fern Grows. And then Mia consumes books like crazy, so she's always reading different. She likes the Emily Winsnap books, so she's always reading those. Yeah. And then Corey, she is my one that gets in trouble for reading the most because she will stay up till midnight reading. And then she's so tired in the morning. So I just went in next to her bed and looked at the pile of books that's next to her bed. And this is the one that was on top. So it's got a hair twister and hair marking her spot. So she's reading the graphic novel A Wrinkle in Time. So she had this a while ago, and it got ruined because it got brought out to the van or out to the SUV, and wet feet and snow, and it got trashed like last winter. And so I just ordered her a new copy, and she so I was all excited about that. My youngest daughter is reading. I went up to her room quick before this to see what she was reading, and she is reading apparently The Call of the Wild. And it's just a short, just a short little read. I mean, it's a short read, but the text is
a heavy read, though. I mean, it's not a light read.
And then my son Chase, my 17-year-old, who's super busy with school, and he's got a lead in a play right now and doing all kinds of stuff. He is reading his book on his book list for this year. He is, or should be, I guess I need to check in, reading Atomic Habits.
Oh, I just finished that. That was my January read.
Yeah, so good. And he's got a fiction book that he's reading right now. And I know because his sister took it out of his room when he was reading it. I can't think of what it was. But he likes to read as well, but he is just short for time. So I think that's covering. And then, I'll share Kinsley. Her favorite book is How to Babysit a Grandma. That is her favorite book. And so we read it. She's a huge reader, actually. We were just I was just talking about this with somebody else for our airplane ride and what she's going to be doing, but she will just, she reads, she just likes text. It's so bizarre. So like here, I'm not kidding you. She spent probably 15 minutes going through a book that there's no pictures.
Just like playing with it.
She's just reading it. But I think she sees all of us reading all the time. So it just feels natural. But she, I'm going to get her when our oldest, so this is aside from my oldest, Alexis, Kinsley is the most interested in books at this age than any other kiddo. So I think she's going to be a lot like Lexi, and she looks just like Lexi. So I think she's going to be a lot like that. And Lexi really liked the Guinness Book World of Records books. Have you ever these huge books, and they're like, I'll always remember the lady that has like the world's longest nails. So it's got like this really colorful picture. Yeah. But these books are really, really colorful and very interesting, very unique pictures. And so I'm going to go buy one for her for the airplane, because I think she will probably spend at least an hour paging through and looking at all of the books. I can't remember what Lexi called it, but she called it something funny like the icky book or something like that. And it's just so, and there's just such like thought-provoking pictures that if a little baby is looking at it and like trying to make sense of like why they have like all these weird nails. And but yeah, How to Babysit a Grandma is her favorite book. If you don't have it for West, you have to get it at your house.
That's so funny. I love it. I don't know that one. I'm gonna have to go look it up. I don't remember that one.
We have How to Babysit a Grandma too.
Does she like pull the pages out like or chew on the books though? Like I think at one my kids would always like stick it right in their mouth, right? That's the first thing they do.
She is, like I said, it's like Lexi. She is abnormally interested and good with books. At first we bought all the hardcover books, right? She can look at any book and not ruin it. The Lift and Flaps she loves. Just regular, like I could just give her this book to look through and she'll turn so she's got this down really good. She'll do this So that's different pages really well. She does do some grabbing of the pages, but if it's a paper book, a lot of it and it's a small book like this, she'll just flip through. I'm really impressed. I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting to see when she wants to read. Lexi, who, like I was saying, is also loved books at this age. She still didn't read until until she was 8. And then I've only had one kid, and that was Hannah, used to be my youngest, who's 11. Now she is self-taught. I never had a single reading lesson with her. She just was one of those kids that picked it up really young. Mm-hmm. And it was before 8. So, I mean, of course, those kids are out there and they're an exception, but she's the only one out of 8 kids that has ever taught herself to read.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's my last 2 that were the hardest, which was so funny because I'm like, I've done this a million times. Like, I taught 40 kids in a kindergarten class how to read. How come I can't teach these 2 how to read? They were a struggle. They had me questioning myself a lot. Okay, so I didn't even think to ask my older kids what they were reading, so who knows. But Sydney reads, like, my kids, we all have Kindles, and we all really like reading on our Kindles. Not the Kindle, like the, what do you call those things? Like, they are kind of like iPads, but like actual, like a Kindle e-reader. Like, it's only for yes, not a Kindle Fire. Yeah. Okay. Those are just a reader. Like, it just looks like a book, but it's small enough that I can like stick it in my purse. I carry it. It actually fits in my back pocket, if you really want to know. It's crazy.
Does it not have like the light that bothers you? Or no. I mean, I haven't looked at Kindle for 15. Like, I feel like when they first came out,
they were awful. No, now it looks like a book page.
I'm gonna show you here. Yeah, I'm going to visit Courtney in 3 days. So.
Yeah. Oh, really? 3 days?
Yeah. Jeez. Today's Friday. I will be there on Sunday. 2 days.
Okay, there you go. So we have a lot of all of my big kids have Kindles, and so that's pretty much what they like to read on, because it's really nice, especially at night, because you can read in bed if you share a room with somebody and you don't have to have a light on. So I know that Cindy has a Kindle she reads, and she's reading. She has like a book club at her work, so they were reading. She was telling me about it the other day, but I can't for like me remember. It's like a fiction book.
That would be fun for Venture to have a staff book club. Sorry, I just thought about that.
Oh yeah.
That'd be great. Okay, sorry, keep going.
Kennedy is the one in nursing school. She absolutely loves to read, but this is not her season for reading.
It's not her season.
Her season for reading, like science books and school. Right. So she, so she's always excited when she gets like a 2-week break. She's like, what am I going to read? So she'll read something.
Okay, remind me how old she is.
21.
Okay. So in Arizona, can you do the nursing program in high school, like through those tech schools, or not?
So she got her CNA.
Okay.
But the nursing school is something you have to do after. Like, I mean, in Arizona, she actually ended up kind of cheating the system. She went to a private nursing school because in Arizona, there's like a 3-year wait to get into a nursing school at any of the nursing schools. So like you have to get prereqs done and then you apply and then you have like a year or whatever while you just, So she didn't want to wait. Shocking. She's related to me. And so she went to a private. So she'll be done in May. She's almost done.
Nice.
Anyway, so that's what she's doing. Delaney, she's probably my least reader out of all my kids, and she'll go through phases and she'll kind of read, but it's not like her go-to, like that's not her default, but she's going.
And she's how old is Delaney?
She's 20. She's the one that just got married. Yeah. So she only really pretty much reads on her Kindle, and she'll have a book on it, but she doesn't read every day kind of thing. It's like when she goes on a beach vacation, she's going to read, or if she goes, but it's not her default for downtime.
Okay.
Audrey, my senior, she is definitely a reader. She reads a lot of books, but more seasonally. Like she'll read a ton over the summer, but not so much like during the school year, just because she's reading school books, but not fun books for her. So right now, all of my junior high and high school kids we do a book club every month that we participate in. And so they're all reading Running for My Life by Lopez Lomong. It's about he's from Africa and he was an Olympian, but
I know the story. I don't know. I haven't read the book.
Super interesting. So that's what they're all reading right now.
Nice.
As their book club. It was one of their school books. And I didn't ask Audrey what she was reading. I know that she always tries to have like a fiction book because she goes through phases, right? Like especially with school. She's like, I'm in a reading slump. That's what she said the other day. So I don't know what she's actually reading right now as far as fiction goes, but she's just kind of doing school books. My freshman, Rory. So this is also super interesting. I always say that you're, because people say, well, I don't like reading. And I was like, I always say you just haven't found the right book yet. And
Yeah.
quite a few of my kids, like Sydney was the same way as Rory. And actually Audrey was too. They didn't actually like to read. It was a chore until they were like 15 or 16. And then all of a sudden it was like a click, like, oh, I love to read. And like, I read all the time. And so Rory just decided this year that she liked to read. And she just hadn't found the right book to read. Like it was always a chore to her. And now I cannot get her. I was like, get off the couch and go do something. You cannot just sit there all day long and read your book.
Like what genre is she read? Like what has she found that she loves?
Right now she's reading the Selection series. Have you read that? It's kind of like one of those dystopian novel type things. It's actually it's really good.
What's the other one? That
was
Games. About the Hunger Games.
Yeah, it's not like there's no brutal killing in it. This one's about like a princess or like a basically the king's daughter like has to get married, but they pull people from like all over the different things, and it's kind of like a PG Bachelor, I guess. You know what I mean? But just I don't know. So she's reading that series and she's really liking it.
Did you let your kids read the Hunger Games?
After they're 16.
Yeah, we were older. I let them when they were way older.
Yeah, Rory hasn't read the Hunger Games yet because she'll be 16 this year.
Gotcha.
There's just some books that, and I have a really bad memory about things. Like I'll read things, and so she'll ask her sisters, "Hey, can I read this?" Like they'll be the ones that are like, "Nope, you can't read that one yet," or "Yeah," you know what I mean? Because
that's what I Lexi too, because she's read way more fiction than I have. So I will frequently go to her and say, "Hey, have you read this?" "Oh yeah, no, they shouldn't read it," or "Yeah, they should."
Yeah, so I make her vet all her books through her sisters because she wants to read, like the romancy ones, but I'm like, there's some romance you can read and some you cannot.
You can't.
So anyway, so that's what she's reading right now is the Selection series. Grady I cannot keep up with his reading. Like he listens to so many books. I've had a really hard time with it. And the stuff that he likes is not stuff that I've read. And so I've had to ask a bunch of friends that have boys, like, what do your kids like to read? And he just devours books. But he also is one that will listen to the same thing over again. So he's rereading the Heroes of Olympus series, which is like one of the like the Percy Jackson spinoff, like there's so many of them. Yeah. So he's re-listening to one of those, but he loves like Brandon Sanderson, like the Mistborn series. Like he loves books that are not my cup of tea. So I've had a hard time. He's hard for me. Yeah. So I rely on a lot of other people. And I'm like, okay, have you read this? And I'll go look it up and be like, can you read this? And
you use Common Sense Media? Have you ever heard of that?
I have heard of that. No, I haven't read it or used it. Is it good?
You just type in the like whatever it is, and you can get some feedback and things on it.
I think I've used it for movies. I didn't know I could put books in it.
Yeah, I'm just looking here. So I'm pretty sure I've used it for books. I'm pulling it up. I've used it for movies.
Yeah.
Too.
I really pretty much I have a group of friends that have like a bunch of boys. And so I just normally like, hey, what are your boys like at this age? Or what are they like now? Because he kind of reads above like where, he's 13, but he'll read definitely like higher level books.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it says that they do books, but I don't know that I've actually used it for books now that I'm thinking it through. I think I've just used it for movies. But they do books.
Yeah. Macy is my one that likes the graphic novels. So she's been like reading the Babysitters Club. They make graphic novels out of those. Remember those when we were kids? So that's kind of like her free fun read. Or she's actually reading what are they like? The Great American Classics, maybe? No, we don't do Junie B. Jones. I'm anti Junie B. Jones. I don't like those.
Neither.
But no, it's like the Great American Classic, but they're like the hardback books with the big red titles, and they're like all the classics, but they are, like abridged. Do you know what I'm talking? The Great American? I think that's what they're called.
Yep. Nope, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep, we have some of those too. Yep.
Yeah.
The Great Classics, those ones.
Yeah. The hardback, they have big red letters. She's reading Little Women right now. That's her fun read. Because she's my most reluctant reader. What is it?
Not a graphic novel though.
No.
Yeah.
It has some random pictures and the words are kind of big, but it just
big, clunky, chunky. Yeah.
So she's reading that from her book, but right now she's doing a Roald Dahl book club at part of co-op. And so she just finished reading Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and now they're reading Matilda. So that's been super fun. She actually read Charlie. I think Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is the first book that she's ever actually like read on her own, like as far as like a normal, just because she's my most reluctant. She's had the hardest time. She struggles with reading the most.
Yeah. I think that book clubs for kids are so good. Our Corey is in a book club as well, and they read a couple series together that's been really, really good.
Yeah. And she's also reading her book club book this month for our family book club is Trumpet of the Swans. So that's a fun, like by E.B. White.
Nice.
So she's kind of going through all those classics that all the other kids did a long time ago. That it's been fun to like revisit. Because Audrey's like, oh, I love that book, Trumpet of the Swans. And she was like telling her all about it. And so it's kind of fun. We like to bond over books in our family. Like we have, we did a road trip not that long ago. And I'm sorry, there's across the street. Can you hear it? They're doing some yard work. No. Anyways, we listened to like the Penderwicks. Like that's one of our family series that we really love. And so we were re-listening to the Penderwick series from my 17-year-old. She's like, let's listen to that again. And I was like, okay. So it's super fun. But I think that's pretty much what we got for right now.
I love it. I read a quote a couple of years ago about the percentage of households in America that don't have books, and it was shocking. Like they don't have any books in their home, or the last time that they had read a book outside of college or been to a bookstore. And it's such an awesome culture to bring into your house. So I just encourage all of our readers, don't feel bad if you don't read 100 books a year, or if your kids don't all have a book that they're reading right now, don't be discouraged. Just start. It's never too late to start reading to your kids. And if you don't love to read, start with audiobooks. They're so great. And so, I guess I'll leave you with that and encourage everybody to try to embrace a culture of reading in your house.
Yeah. And tell us what you're reading. We'd love to know what you're reading. And if you love what you're listening to, we'd love if you would leave us a review on podcasts. That's how we get to reach more people. So leave us a review if you love us. Yes. And we will see everybody next week.
Awesome. Thanks. Bye.